Welcome back. I'm Dr. Cheek and I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the holidays. So, more than likely, you're seeing this video on Christmas. So, if you do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas, as they say in some places in Europe. Also, Happy First Day of Hanukkah. And as well as tomorrow will be the first day of Kwanzaa. And if I'm not mistaken, the first day of Kwanzaa is Umoja, and that means unity. So I am doing this video today because we spend a lot of time talking about how to survive the holidays. However, some of us don't have to survive the holidays. Some of us actually enjoy spending time with family members. And for those who were fortunate enough to not grow up in a household where there was abuse or dysfunctionality, or the dysfunction was manageable, allow yourself to enjoy those holidays without feeling some level of guilt or some level of apprehension about allowing yourself to enjoy time that you spend with your family. And even though you may enjoy that time with family, the holidays can be a stressful time of the year for most of us, even if we enjoy the time with our families, because it's a time of year where it almost feels like we have these unrealistic expectations of one another. So we have these expectations that we're going to be more altruistic, we're going to be more hopeful, more welcoming, much more nicer than we've ever been. And sometimes that's a fallacy, because the holidays, once you get past a certain age, once your children get past a certain age, it sometimes simply feels like another day or another day to spend time with your family. Although you can feel like you're in the spirit of the holidays, it doesn't always feel the same. And for those where it doesn't always feel the same, it may be a time to start new traditions, to start new things within your family to make it feel as special as it used to feel. I know for me, probably about 5 years ago, I started making homemade cinnamon rolls for the holidays. And this is something I do every Christmas. This is a new tradition in our family because we'd have the normal Christmas meal, but having those cinnamon rolls was something new that I started. And this year I've been thinking about other things or other ways to start new traditions, because both of my nephews are much older. They're young men now. So it doesn't have that same nostalgia as it does when you're dealing with younger children or when you're young yourself. So we're having to figure out how to create new traditions or how to put that warm holiday feeling back into these events so it just doesn't feel like a day that we're giving gifts. Also, I want us to be mindful that this time of year can be hard for those who've lost a loved one. And they may not have lost a loved one this year, but the holiday season tends to be a hard time for anyone who's lost a loved one, because it's a time of the year that we normally remember spending that time together or spending those different holidays with that individual. So all of those emotions and all of that grief that you felt is present. So allow yourself time and space to grieve that. And also it may be helpful to start a new tradition where you bring in maybe reminders of that loved one and you celebrate the life that you had with them, or you put together something as a reminder for those family members. The holidays themselves can be a mixed bag. It can be a time of enjoyment. It can be a time for nostalgia. It can be time for spending time with family. It can be time for dealing with elevated stress levels because you're having to do shopping, you're having to do cooking, you're having to navigate from one state to another state or get all of the family in one place. It can be stressful in so many ways, and it can be hard, especially when you're dealing with grief or if you've lost someone that meant a lot to you around this time, or even if you lost them at a different point, but this time was significant to the both of you. Allow yourself to have those emotions, to have those joyful emotions as well as those harder emotions, those grieving or sadness as it relates to dealing with these holidays. And take time to find new ways to bring that spirit of whatever holiday you need to back into your home when you feel like you've lost it, because transitions have happened, because time has progressed and you're not at the same level anymore. So everyone's older now, so it doesn't feel the same. So start to implement some new traditions or some new strategies to help it feel a little bit more like the holidays for you and your family. Now, this is just a simple check-in for the holidays. Hopefully this video has helped and you, one, allowing yourself to feel gratitude if you have a family that's manageable, if you have a family that's not stressful or dysfunctional to the point where you feel like you have to survive them every year. Be grateful for that. And if you have a family that you have to survive or you have to deal with, there are strategies for that. I actually wrote up a little, go on Instagram, you'll find it, for how to deal with difficult family members around the holidays and surviving the holidays when you have maybe a more than necessarily dysfunctional family. But for those who don't have that aspect, be grateful. grateful. Don't take those things for granted. Also, for all of us who may be in a different transition period in your life, it may be a time to find new traditions. It may be a time to implement different strategies so the holidays can feel genuinely joyful for you again, and for you to feel connected to the holidays again. And lastly, for those individuals who are dealing with the loss of a loved one around these holidays and you're feeling the lack of their presence around you, allow yourself to grieve however you need to grieve, whatever that looks like for you, even if it's anger, if it's sadness, if it's laughter, because you remember how comical or how humorous this person was. Whatever that grief process looks like for you, allow yourself to have time for that. And also maybe allow yourself to start to implement new strategies or new things that you can do for this time of year to help you remember that individual, so you're no longer focusing primarily on the grief that you feel for them, but you're also celebrating them. You're bringing them back into the fold as it relates to the holidays. They may not be here physically, but they may still be here emotionally and mentally. And you can build some things into your family functions. You can build some things into your daily lives that celebrate that person in a way that allows you to make time and space for them, that allows you to grieve or get to a different step in that grieving process. As always, feel free to jot down any thoughts, questions, or comments you have below. I hope you take something from this video today that was helpful. I thank you for taking the time to listen, and I'll be seeing you again very soon. Thank you.